how do you put GenAI to work in a safe and trusted manner for your business? You've got to know the things that not everybody told you about. First, GenAI can make facts up. That can be very dangerous when those facts are believable, as was the case that two lawyers found out when they cited case law that simply didn't exist. And when they got called in front of the bar, they showed the judge how the GenAI that they were using assured them that the facts were true. Now, think about that in healthcare and finance. Very, very dangerous stuff. You got to be aware of that. What's another thing with GenAI that someone didn't tell you about? They have a knowledge cutoff date, which means the day they were trained is the day that they stopped learning new information. And so if you know that, then you can take augmented actions like giving it some data on the side that's your personal data or up-to-date data, or giving it search capabilities on the web. The other thing that not everyone has told you is just how much energy these models use. And it's really given rise to something we call small language models. But the carbon footprint of GenAI is massive. Quite simply, the world is writing energy checks it can't cash. Let me give you an example. A single ChatGPT query takes as much energy as it does to light a light bulb for 20 minutes. So we have to think about those things, and do we really need the biggest models in the world, or do we need to focus the models for accuracy as well as energy consumption? Now, just like when you put your business on the internet, you expanded the attack vectors for your business, so too does GenAI. You become more of a digital business. And there's new threat vectors you need to think about, like prompt injection attacks. That's a key one. Poison data is another one. So you have to stop thinking of security as a cost center and think of it as a value creator. So what are key things you can do to put AI to work in a safe manner? You can leverage our 4 levers. Make sure the AI is fair, doesn't have bias to it. Make sure it's robust, it's protected from attacks and bad actors. Make sure it's explainable. Why did you make this decision, AI? In fact, that's the law in many states and countries around the world. And make sure you can show lineage. Where did the data come from that was used to train this model? If you follow those 4 levers, you will have trustworthy, safe, and robust AI. And the way to get there fast is to realize that governance shouldn't be a least effort to comply approach. It actually creates dividends that accelerates your GenAI journey. So how do you create skills that thrill across your whole organization? First is hire the curious. Those are the people that want to learn on their own, not because of some corporate program, but because they just want to figure out the why and the how. Next, make sure the people you hire are digitally minded. That doesn't mean that they're all nerds who program. You'll have those people too. But they look at evolving technology to make their work go faster, and GenAI is a perfect thing for that. You'll need to inventory your skills. You need to know where you're at so you can chart the destination of where you need to go. Maybe you need to invest in this area more than that area. And in order to chart that destination, you need a program. So from the boiler room to the boardroom, everybody has to participate in this upskilling effort. That's absolutely critical. I always tell people, accept the learning curve and the forgetting curve. You learn and then you forget a lot what you have learned, the forgetting curve, unless you put it to work. So figure out ways so people can put the stuff that you're teaching them to work. And finally, be a skills verb, not a noun. That means there's action with purpose and intent in everything you do as a leader or as an individual when it comes to creating skills that thrill. So you come out of this with the levers to move forward your organization with skills. And the takeaway is for you to understand that skill years, they used to be like dog years, 1 to 7. They're like mice years now, 1 to 30. And so the way that you uplift the skills in your organization so you don't walk by problems every day that you could solve or make better with technology is to take knowledge, times it by effort, and that will equal success.